This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
The Carroll Dragons closed out a very successful regular season. It's the LD Bell Blue Raiders in town. We have it on CSR TV. We are live from the campus of Carroll Senior High School as Champion Sports Radio, in conjunction with CSR TV, presents continuing coverage of South Lake Carroll Dragon baseball for the 2015 season. Hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Pete Nielsen, I'm Brad Denton. We bid you a very pleasant good evening. Welcome into South Lake and welcome into still sun-splashed Dragon Field. It is the finale of the regular season. The Bell Blue Raiders are in town to call on the Dragons. All of that said, and we celebrate senior night tonight at Dragon Field. Peter, the Blue Raiders into it at 10 and 12 overall, 3 wins, 8 losses in District 7 6A play. While for Carroll, well, game number 23 for the playoff-bound Dragons, who take dead aim at win number 19. And Carroll, with now more than a modest winning streak, they're finishing this regular season with quite a flurry.
Thank you, Brad Denton. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into Carroll baseball right here on CSR TV. And, Brad, you hit it right on the head. This baseball team, Carroll Dragon baseball team, hitting on all cylinders right now. It's almost like we're back in the beginning of the season when they started the season in that 13-0 run, really playing well, starting to hit. The constant for this team, as I mentioned Wednesday night, has been the pitching. We saw that again Wednesday night. Look for it again tonight with Kevin Kramer.
Well, Kevin Kramer, the senior right-hander, gets the start. He's looking for win number 6. He's 5-2 with 41 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 22 hits, only 7 runs, only 4 of those earned, striking out 54 while walking only 10. Kevin Kramer again at 5-2, the ERA 0.672. That's not too shabby, but it falls right in line with Carroll as a team. The Dragons team ERA have about 1.45 per ball game.
That's just solid, Brad. If you can get that kind of pitch and you get 2 or 3 youngsters pitching that well going into what happens next week, we talk about the playoffs, and boy, we'll talk about that a lot tonight. You're in good shape, and the pitching's been great. The hitting's starting to come around, and I'm looking forward to next week. Let's get through this one, though, tonight.
And Carroll looking for their 3rd consecutive 2-game sweep to wind up District 7 6A play. Swept Heritage a couple of weeks ago. Last week it was Haltom. Got it started with Wednesday night over at Bell, 5-1. That's 5 in a row the Carroll Dragons have won.
Yeah, and doing it offensively, Brad. Again, a 5-1 winner on Wednesday night. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the third, and then Matthew Canarino just took over and was outstanding. Cole Ramage came in for the 7th inning, as he does many times, and just shut the door.
Well, the head coaches are the longest tenured in District 7 6A. In fact, maybe the dean of the 7 6A baseball coaches waves his wand over this Bell Blue Raider program, 22nd year for one head coach, Paul Gibson, who has rung up nearly 450 wins at Bell High School. And, of course, in his 19th season over the Carroll Dragons baseball program, Larry Hughes, who at Carroll has won 462 while losing 203. We'll have the first pitch of this one after the timeout. The pregame show has been brought to you by Meet You Anywhere Barbecue. Back after the timeout.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
My goodness, while you were away, we were really treated tonight. One of the Carroll players wears number 24, and one of the seniors we honored tonight, one Jeremy Fernando, with a terrific a cappella version of our Star Spangled Banner. And Pete, you were even looking on with mouth agape.
Yeah, that was an outstanding job, and did a great job. Got the crowd fired up. Great senior night crowd here at Dragon Field.
Why not? Let's look at the Bell Blue Raider lineup real quickly. Again, they have won 10 of 22 games thus far. 3-8 in District 7 6A play. The head coach is Paul Gibson in his 22nd year. The leadoff man plays left field is Kyle Broussard. He'll be followed by second baseman Caleb Irwin. Batting third, playing center field, junior Mason Peterson. The senior draws to start tonight on the mound. He'll bat cleanup in Jordan Satterwhite. Batting fifth, J.B. Moran, third baseman. Batting sixth is Skylar Cryer in right field. In the bottom third of the Blue Raider lineup, first baseman Preston Newman, followed by Cody Reyna at catcher, and rounding out the designated hitter in the 9-hole is Carter Cleveland. Cleveland will be the designated hitter for starting shortstop Michael Bernhardt. This is a proud program at Bell High School. A year ago, playoff qualifiers, not going to do it in 2015. Last year, 23-10, the final record.
Take this opportunity to introduce the Dragons defensively. Alex Johnston's the left fielder, Eric Cole. Roaming center field, Ryan Bellamy in right. Corin Krug gets to start at third tonight. Stephen Billington is the shortstop, with Hudson Sanchez out with the injury. Drew Davis at second base. Casey Combs at first. Nick Motley behind the dish and on the mound. Somebody Brad's going to tell you all about, Mr. Kevin Kramer.
Again, Kevin Kramer, the Cincinnati, Ohio native, son of Chris and Maureen, a Dragon football player and a mighty good baseball player. Good right-hander, has played some terrific third base also throughout the spring here of his senior year. Again, 7 decisions. He's 5-2, 41 2/3 innings pitched, an ERA of 0.672. As we wind down our pregame programming, let me remind you, it was brought to you by Meet You Anywhere Barbecue. Go to Meet You Anywhere Barbecue in Grapevine. You'll find the best barbecue in North Texas online at meetyouanywhere.com. That's MEAT, the letter U, anywhere.com. With Pete Nielsen, I'm Brad Denton. Welcome in as we're just about to get this one underway as we look for Kyle Broussard, the Blue Raider left field, to make his way into the batter's box. And he'll stick him off the left side. He, one of the seniors who was honored Wednesday night over at Bell's Nathan F. Danford Field when the Blue Raiders had senior night in their final home game. By the way, Carroll won that by a 5-1 final on Wednesday evening. Here's Kramer firing to his battery mate, Nick Motley, and there's stroking a base hit to center field. On the game's initial pitch is Kyle Broussard.
First pitch, fastball swinging as Kyle Broussard takes it right back up the middle for the first hit of the game.
Well, there goes the no-hitter for Kevin.
Well, this way you can't jinx it.
Caleb Irwin. He's a senior Bell second baseman. Stands in wearing number 15. Bell in the road grays tonight. Carroll answers with the bright home whites. Kramer, that's bunted. Self-preservation, a fine bunt laid down by Irwin, fielded by Kramer, and the sacrifice very successful, 1-3 in the scorebook. But my goodness, that was sailing in on Irwin, and great bat control kept the horsehide off the body.
Yeah, that's a situation of either be hit or get the ball down, and he got the ball down. And nice job by Kramer not to rush it, Brad, because he had all the time, and get the sure out at first for the first out of the inning. Runner in scoring position now for the Blue Raiders. Now I'm going to warn you, I called them the Blue Dragons all night the other night, and I'm sure we got some letters. So I'm going to do my best to call them the Blue Raiders tonight. First
again, swinging. That's Peterson, and he'll take the runner from second to third as the first baseman, Casey Combs, does it himself. 3 unassisted. First ball hitting one more time. Out number 2.
Top half of the first inning is brought to you by Jeff Irwin State Farm Insurance Agency. For all your insurance needs, call Jeff at 817-251-8900 or visit jeffirwin.com. And also our friends, the Heineman family. Brad, there's 2 reasons. There's 2 seasons,
Maybe 2
Winter
reasons,
and baseball. Enough said. The great Rogers Hornsby.
The native Texan out of Winters.
Well, that's where the 2 seasons came from, right, buddy? Hey, they didn't swing.
Curveball, that was the second pitch taken by the cleanup hitting pitcher Jordan Satterwhite, with a teammate in Kyle Broussard just 90 feet away. 2 down. Satterwhite stands in, 2 balls, no strikes. There's the pitch from Kramer, swinging late. Out of play, right side.
That might have went into the concession stand, my friend. Let's hope no one was hurt.
Satterwhite, a good-sized youngster, the senior, 6 foot at 190. And again, he the starting pitcher and cleanup hitter for Bell this evening. Kramer trying to pitch out of a little bit of first inning trouble. Again, late, out of play, right side. Welcome in a couple of people. Cameraman Trent Landry on hand tonight. Always good to have Trent in the fold. And
say that again.
Also, we doff our cap to our favorite public address announcer, Ken Goodman, who was flawless during the senior celebration pregame, which we are very proud to carry here on CSR TV.
And as a reminder, Brad, just like the broadcasts for the families that do want to go home and catch up and watch it, it'll be out there tonight around 3 o'clock in the morning on the website.
If you don't stay up, get up. Watch it there. Right side on the ground. Combs will field it and do it himself, and Bell comes up empty. No runs on a hit, 1 left in the top of the first. Scoreless at Dragon Field with the Dragons coming about on CSR TV.
On all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Back in beautiful Dragon Field, bottom half of the first inning. LD Bell not able to score a run in their first half of the inning, and Dragons coming to the plate. A reminder, this half of the inning brought to us by our friends at Alcorp Marketing. Thank you to Ben Allen and the Allen family. To find out more, visit alcorpmarketing.com. Alcorp Marketing.
Larry Hughes and the South Lake Carroll Dragons will roll out a lineup card that features Alex Johnston now stepping in, hitting leadoff and playing left field. And here's Satterwhite's first pitch. Kind of a short arm fastball, but a called strike 1. Zach Farrar, the designated hitter, will bat second, followed by Eric Cole, the center fielder. Cleanup hitting catcher is Nick Motley. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swinging, missing is Johnston, and it's 0-2. Casey Combs will bat number 5, followed by Drew Davis, and that bottom third, Ryan Bellamy In right field, batting 8th and pitching Kevin Kramer. And batting 9th at shortstop is Stephen Billington. There's a check swing, and he does go, and the ball gets away from Reyna, the catcher, who will fire down. And Alex Johnston goes down on the book as a strikeout victim and out number 1.
Defensively for LD Bell, the left fielders Kyle Broussard, Mason Peterson's the center fielder, Skylar Cryer is right field, J.B. Moran's the third baseman, Michael Bernhardt's at short, Caleb Irwin is the second baseman, Preston Newen gets the start at first, and Cody Rainier's behind the plate.
Well, in first pitch, Zach Farrar puts a charge into one, but that's right at Mason Peterson in center field with a line smash off the bat of Farrar. And, Pete, if you get 27 hits and now 54 at-bats, you're still over 500.
Yeah, Zach's been pretty impressive. And, Brad, this is what happened Wednesday night. 2 quick outs for the Dragons, and then Cole gets on, and Motley hit a bomb, and it was 2-0 before they knew any better.
Eric Cole's been swinging it pretty well. He's got the average all the way up to an even 400.
He's really settled in since Coach Hughes has made the change, putting him in that 3-hole, and really he's done a nice job of settling in.
Amongst the team leaders with 13 runs scored, pops it up. Behind home plate, Reyna says, "I've got it," and the catcher telling the truth for out number 3. Well, 1, 2, 3, and nothing across for the Dragons through 1, and we're scoreless. Blue Raiders and Dragons tonight on CSR TV.
Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute. Online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Top half of the second inning here at Dragon Field. J.B. Moran stepping in for the Blue Raiders, and here's Brad.
Thank you, Peter. Moran, the senior third baseman. Work against Kevin Kramer, who will open up the second inning here with a curveball, missed it just inside. Moran to be followed by Skylar Cryer, then we'll see Preston Newen. The pitch to Moran on the outside corner, and a called strike 1.
Kramer, 3-pitch pitcher. Brad, fastball, curveball, and a kind of a slurve that he throws. That was the slurve right there. No, look out, right back at us for the second strike.
Top of inning number 2, very proudly brought to you by Speedy B Car Wash on Davis, where they believe they have to earn your business on each and every visit. Visit them online at speedybwash.com. Swing and a miss. The count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. On 1, J.B. Moran. Where's that lucky number 13? Kramer deals, and that was lifted out of play. Will stay locked in a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Moran came in, pitched the other night after the starting pitcher for LD Bell got knocked around. Did a really nice job keeping Bell into the game. Now he's battling.
Staying alive up there is Moran. With a win tonight, Carroll would close out District 7 6A play with 8 wins, 4 losses. And
6 in a row.
They would be in a logjam, likely, with the Richland Rebels in a tie for 3rd place.
Same type of logjam up at the top as well, Brad.
That's lifted in right field down the line, giving chase in foul territory. Ryan Bellamy can't outrun that one, and Moran stays alive.
And with Trinity and Coppell 1-2, and they've already done the duty. They've decided they were going to flip a coin, and I'll let you explain to everybody, because you're trying to tell me I'm trying to get us through senior night and get the game ready on it, and you're explaining to everybody what's going on. And after this pitch, we'll let you tell everyone who will be the 1 and 2 seed out of our district.
The pitch is to Moran. It's in the air to Bellamy, right field, and Ryan runs it down for out number 1. Well, as I understand it, there was a little bit of confusion when people looked at the district notes as to what are you going to do in a tie. And it came to the point that Trinity and Carroll, who will likely end up in a dead, flat-footed tie at 10 wins, 2 losses, if Carroll does take care of their business tonight, or rather Coppell takes care of their business, as they have cellar-dwelling Haltom at home, and you would look for them to do that. And it ends up, let's say, 10-2 for Trinity, 10-2 for Coppell.
And I can add something for you.
Go ahead.
Coppell will play Cedar Hill next week, and then the winner of the Mansfield-South Grand Prairie game tonight will be the 2nd seed. So Midlothian's got 1 wrapped up. So the 2nd seed is between Mansfield and South Grand Prairie. All I'm going to say is read your paper on Monday morning, and then you'll know where we'll be on either Thursday or Friday night.
But I think Trinity said, I don't want to play a play-in game with Coppell.
No.
Coppell said, well, let's play. Let's play
flip
one. They said, well, let's flip to see if we play one. They did flip. Trinity won that flip, so they're not going to have a play-in game for the district championship to see who gets the 1 seed. So they flipped again to see if, in fact, who would be the top seed. Coppell won that flip, so Coppell advances as the top seed.
I kind of stole the line there. I'm sorry. I got ahead of you. Sorry. I was looking it up.
You said you weren't listening. Line smash,
Oh.
Casey Combs spears it down the first base line. Combs
Almost jumped too early.
Has been busy now. That's his 3rd unassisted putout.
Brad, while we have this opportunity, we also want to say thanks to Around the Plate Sports, where personalized coaching changes practice into passion and transforms players into champions. Check out AroundThePlateSports.com for more information.
Preston Newman stands in, one of only a couple of juniors on Paul Gibson's Bell Blue Raider lineup card.
How about Paul Gibson? How about some numbers there? We talk about Coach Hughes. Coach
22nd
Gibson right
year,
there.
And a special guy. You know, he went through that very peculiar blood disorder 3-4 years ago, and it's an inspiration for all of us is Paul Gibson. Still fighting the fight.
Does a pretty good job of hiring assistant coaches, too. One we know very, very well. Well, the family back from Carrollton, and I'll let you tell that story when we have a little bit of time as well.
Kramer in the air, right field. Bellamy coming on, says, I got it. And Ryan does, in fact, have it to step into fair territory. So Ryan Bellamy involved in a couple of the second inning outs. The Blue Raiders go 1, 2, and 3. We're still scoreless through 1.5 at Dragon Field.
I'm in a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need StatGeek, the simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball. Produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports. Send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's statistic collection redefined. StatGeek is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at StatGeek.com. StatGeek, keep your eye on the ball.
Back at beautiful Dragon Field on a beautiful Friday night. No scores. We go to the bottom half of the second. I'll tell you all about it as the voice of Dragon Baseball.
Tonight's broadcast of Carroll Dragon Baseball on Champion Sports Radio, very proudly brought to you by Peter. And I think if both of us were honest, one of our guilty pleasures, nothing bunt cakes. We're so doggone yummy, you wish they didn't have that hole in it. Stop by the location, Nothing Bunt Cakes, South Lake Town Square, or call area code 817-416-6228. As Nick Motley stands in, work against Jordan Satterwhite. Nick has had a heck of a year, senior year, hitting .448, now 6 home runs with the long ball on Wednesday night at Bell, and a team-leading 32 runs batted in. Count 1-1 on Motley. And, Pete, what about this rather unique delivery from Jordan Satterwhite? I mentioned a short arm.
I'm still trying to figure out where that ball comes out, what arm slot it comes out of. And I think the Dragons this ball's ripped.
That is deep, and Mason Peterson drifts all the way back, and in front of the 400-foot sign in center field will haul that in. A deep, well-hit fly ball off of the bat of Nick Motley.
Nick just got under that a little bit and hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. And Peterson on Wednesday night, we saw his range with one of the best catches I've seen all season. That time he settles back, gets back under it, and easily makes the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Peterson, one of those juniors for Bell, and he may be one of their better players, if not their best player. A year ago, as a sophomore, hit .375, first-team All-District.
Yes, sir. Now, this is a Bell team, Bell program rich in tradition, BD, and just a great job that the coach has done over the years. And a bit of a down year, but he'll have him back going next year, I bet you.
Casey Combs digs in, the Dragon first baseman, hitting at a .333 clip.
Well, let me promise you something else. The district makers didn't do him any favors.
No, this is a tough district. You know,
yeah, it is.
You noticed in Dallas Morning News publication came out, I think, yesterday with their very late season area rankings, and there they were. Trinity at 4, Coppell at 5, Carroll at number 6.
Yeah.
Here's Combs going the other way. Digging and coming in, trying to make the diving catch is Cryer. It pops out of his glove. What a nice effort by Skylar Cryer. But the first Dragon hit of the ball game off of the bat of Casey Combs, going the other way with it.
Well, that's a great effort by Cryer, senior, playing in his last game as a Blue Raider, and goes all out and has it in the glove. But when he hits the ground, the ball falls out, and the Dragons with a one-out base runner now. See how Mr. Satterwhite does from the stretch.
Well, he's got to work against the Dean of the D's, Drew Davis. Carroll's second sacker stands in as he's really had a superb senior year, particularly defensively, but he's had some big hits, hitting .255 on the season is Drew Davis.
Outfield shades him to right center field. If he was hit a ball to straightaway center, he'd run all night.
Runner going. That's Combs on his way. Reyna the throw down. Head first slide, and he's safe. Casey Combs stolen base. Got a good jump.
Yeah, got a really good jump because that was a really nice transition. Good throw by Reyna. Made it closer than you thought it would be, but good speed that time by Casey in scoring position now at less than 2 outs.
A ball and a strike, the count to Drew Davis. And a runner in scoring position. Combs singles and swipes second. Satterwhite from the stretch. Leaves that wide. Count in favor of the hitter, one Drew Davis.
Pitching Drew outside, and maybe that's why the defense is shaded to the right side. Kind of interesting.
There's the pitch.
Thank you.
That's smashed in a gap. That'll drive in Combs. Extra bases for Drew Davis. Peterson runs it down and brings it back in, and Davis with a stand-up RBI double.
I'm going to have a conversation with Drew after the game and tell him to stop making me look so darn good. He hit it right where I said he needed to hit it, and, well, even if he was playing straight away, that would have scored a run. But great job there by Drew Davis. First run of the game played it for the Dragons. They lead 1-0.
Sixth RBI on the year for Davis. And Ryan Bellamy stands in. Dragon right fielder. Seniors getting it done tonight. Combs was introduced pregame. Drew Davis was introduced pregame, as was Ryan Bellamy. All three part of the 20 men that are upperclassmen on the Dragon 2015 roster.
That's a boatload of seniors.
There's the pitch. Healthy rip by Bellamy, and he comes up empty.
And, Brad, we've heard it more than once, maybe more than twice from Coach Hughes, how much he loves this group. And maybe that's why, because they're a bunch of seniors. He doesn't have to worry about them. But he does love this group, and he wants them to play as long as they possibly can. So the way they're going now, this is great news.
There's the pitch. Another swing and a miss, and a strikeout victim is Bellamy. Out number 2 in the inning. One across, one on.
Strikeout number 2 for Satterwhite. And Dragon's still having a hard time picking it up, coming out of his hand, I think, buddy.
Yeah, that's a funny delivery. You don't see that very often. Satterwhite, but they have tagged some balls. Here's pitcher Kevin Kramer can help his cause. Looks at a little bender that catches the outside corner at the knee and a called strike one.
Kramer's been one of the hottest Dragon hitters as of late.
Satterwhite leaves it low and away. We mentioned Bell a year ago, 23-10, their best record in the 22 years under Paul Gibson was back in 2011 when they won 33 while losing 11. Made it all the way to the regional finals. Well, Kramer caught off balance and pops it up in foul territory. It's squeezed by Preston Newman, the first baseman, for out number 3. Carroll scores one, do it on 2 hits, and leave one aboard. New count from Dragon Field into the second inning. It's Carroll 2, Bell nothing.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
Tonight's broadcast of Carroll Dragon Baseball on Champion Sports Radio brought to you in part by Meet You Anywhere Barbecue. Go to Meet You Anywhere Barbecue in Grapevine. You'll find the best barbecue in North Texas. Online at meetyouanywhere.com. That's MEAT, the letter U, anywhere.com. Play moves to the top of the third inning. For the play-by-play, here's Pete Nielsen.
Coach catcher Cody Raina in at for the Bell Blue Raiders, down in the count, 0-2 now. He's done a great job behind the plate in these 2 games for LD Bell, but can't catch up to the Kramer fastball there, Brad, and 0-2.
8-9-1 on the Blue Raider lineup here in the top of the third.
Waste curveball there. Count goes to 1-2. 1-0 Dragons able to scratch across a run in the bottom half of the first inning. Bottom half of the second inning. Kramer's pitch outside corner. Doesn't get the call. We go to 2-2.
Kevin Kramer with 54 strikeouts in 41 2/3 inning has yet to strike out a man tonight. Let's see what happens here.
Fouled away. Boy, they're making him work. A couple at-bats earlier in the game. 6, 7, 8 pitch at-bats. This one now, this will be the 6th pitch of this at-bat for Kevin Kramer. Ran it, doing a nice job. Curveball up, 3-2. Kevin gave up the leadoff single, has retired 6 in a row since then. Gets the ground ball over to Casey Combs for the first out of the third inning. 3 balls over there to Combs,
yeah,
Brad, so far.
He's been flawless.
Pretty good, pretty solid. He's the left, the designated hitter tonight. Played left field the other night. Carter Cleveland did a great job playing left field for LD Bell the other night. Hitting the ninth spot and DHing for the shortstop, Michael Bernhardt. Curveball, strike 1.
Nice pitch. Mr. Kramer, after giving up the first pitch base hit, top of the first, has retired 7 consecutive Blue Raiders.
Another curveball. Pop straight up, Motley. Well, looks like Kevin's going to take control and cue up the Indiana Jones music there for a second, but able to make the play. Dancing with the Wolves there a little bit there, but 2 out now. Back to the top of the order for Kyle Broussard. Broussard saw 1 pitch his first time out. Lined it right to center fielder Eric Cole for a base hit. 8 in a row now. Retired by Kramer. First pitch swing, fouls it back, strike one. I mentioned what a beautiful night it is.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Savor this. May Day,
May Day,
2015.
yeah, May Day, and no more rain day, and we won't look at the forecast next week. Apparently it's coming back on Wednesday. 0-1 foul back, count goes to 0-2. And you know when it's coming back, right? Thursday and Friday. You know what we're doing Thursday and Friday, right?
Playing baseball, playoff baseball.
Somewhere, we hope. We're not sure where. Just stay tuned and read the Dallas Morning News, and wherever the Dragons are, we'll be there with them. Curveball up in the zone, right back up the middle. Kyle Broussard's second hit of the night. I bet you Kevin Kramer could get that one back, Brad. He'd say, let me throw that down in the zone. Caleb Irvin comes to the plate. Sacrifice bunt, his first time out. But if you recall, Brad, it almost hit him. Did a great job of getting the ball down. Man up first, 2 out. Top half of the third inning. Curveball, strike one. Kramer working in the curveball a little bit more regular. Lee. Oh, my. Oh, my. How am I?
All I can say is this, Peter. It's your choice, red velvet or lemon.
Somebody call timeout. They're here. I'll go red velvet.
Yeah.
Of course. And if you can't figure it out, our sponsor from the last inning heard us and delivered nothing but cakes. Fly ball to Eric Cole in center field. Makes the catch. That's the inning. No runs, one hit, one left on base for LD Bell. We go to the bottom half of the third. 1-0 Dragons. You're watching Dragon Baseball on CSR TV.
Are you looking for a way to promote your business or increase exposure? Do you just need more people to know that you're there? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games to more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. Think about it. Die-hard fans just like you tune in each and every week, giving your business unparalleled access to the community. It's the perfect way for smaller individually owned businesses to cultivate a core clientele or expand their already loyal customer base. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334 or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
Still early at Dragon Field as Carroll up by a 1-0 count as play moves to the home half of the third inning. Either ball club with 2 hits on the night. Carroll was able to bunch theirs together last inning and pushed across the game's only run. Here's Pete.
8-9-1-2 coming to play for the Dragons. Shortstop Stephen Billington will lead things off against the right-hander Jordan Satterwhite. Slingshot delivery, and Billington a little behind the fastball. Falls behind the count, 0-1.
Billington spelling the injured Hudson Sanchez at shortstop this week.
Pitch up in the, maybe in that Devil's Triangle, but no, right fielder Skylar Cryer comes in. Makes the play pretty easily for the first out of the inning.
And what for Sanchez? A broken digit?
We're here, broken thumb. And not quite sure how fast he'll recover from that. Man, Brad, people ask me, how does that affect things? Well, obviously it affects this team defensively, but you also leave your 5-hole hitter, and that's just as important. Satterwhite's first pitch, not sure where that was, but it's ball one.
To the man at the top of the order, Alex Johnston.
Johnson struck out his first time. Fouls back. The next pitch, count goes to 1-1. Johnson kind of taking over the leadoff role here for the Dragons. As Coach Hughes kind of continues to, try to find an answer here with this batting order. Curveball down in the zone, 2-1.
Peter, let me present you with the utensil for the nothing bunt cake.
We are truly blessed up here, and I mean that. Red velvet and on a Friday night? Unbelievable. What'd you get?
That would be called lemon nothing bundt cake.
That would be, no. If it's from nothing, a bundt cake, that would be lemon.
Oh, well, maybe so. Yes, indeed.
Lemon. 2-2, meanwhile, to Alex
I
Johnson.
believe it was lemon I tied into last time and couldn't have been happier.
You were making funny noises when you were eating that last time. 3-2 count. Pitch on the outside corner there, just missed. Some of the LD Bell faithful saying, no, Mr. Umpire, it didn't. But it did. 3-2 pitch. Fisted up in the air. Second baseman Caleb Irvin under it and make the sketch for the second out of the inning. Satterwhite really settled in here, Brad.
Tonight's broadcast of Carroll Dragon Baseball, heard on Champion Sports Radio, is brought to you in part by Heritage Homes, building fine custom homes in South Lake, as well as surrounding communities. Heritage Homes, a proud sponsor of Dragon Baseball 2015.
Here's Zach Farrar not swinging at the first pitch. Somebody calls somebody. That's usually an event. Zach usually ripping at the first pitch. Doesn't that time. It takes it outside for ball one. Farrar flew out to the center fielder his first time.
I guess Zach has seen the average drop from 509 to an even 500. 27 hits in this now, his 55th at bat.
Yeah, he's been great, and he has been a stalwart in that two-hole. 2-0 pitch foul down the right-hand side. Into the parking lot over by the student section. That's right, Brad. The student section here at Dragon Field is in the parking lot. I got to love that. Kids sitting on top of the pickups over there and don't have to pay and can see everything. Now, that's smart.
Elevated view. Very nice.
2-1 pitch down in the dirt. Count goes to 3-1 to Zach Farrar. 1-0 still here. Bottom half of the third inning from beautiful Dragon Field. 3-1, fouled away down the right side. Shortstop and third baseman take trash.
Now, Peter, I was otherwise occupied, obviously, on Wednesday evening and missed the ball game at Nathan F. Danford Field, but you said the home of the Bell Blue Raiders is nothing short of beautiful.
Spectacular. Now, the place to work the game is not so spectacular.
Not what we have here.
But if you're a fan, what a beautiful field. Absolutely beautiful and plush and green and perfect. There's a 2-out walk for Zach Farrar. Good job that time by Zach, working a walk. You don't see that very often with Zach. He's always trying to find a way to rip at that baseball at that time. Does a good job of becoming a 2-out base runner.
A couple of pop-ups, first by Billington, and then by Johnston. 2 quick outs, but now Farrar's on, and here's the meat of the matter. Eric Cole and Nick Motley coming up.
Cole's been swinging the hot bat. He hit the ball hard all 3 times the other night, Brad. Not much to show for it. Wow.
Eric
Strike one.
Popped out to the catcher in the first trip tonight in the first inning. Seems like he swung at a very early pitch then, maybe a little more patience here.
Second pitch of the at-bat to be. Good lead for Farrar. Outside, 1-1.
It seems like Satterwhite, and I like your description, the slingshot delivery, could be something that you could wise up to second, third time through the order.
Yeah, he's not throwing very hard, Brad. It's just finding that arm slot, and it looks like some of the kids are locking in, but some of them still struggling a little bit. And if you get a chance, get the glasses on and find so you can see where the right fielder is. He's out there looking. I don't know what he's doing, but he's on the warning track.
He's out there.
Cole can get if he dumps one in there. Eric is so fast he may get a double. Just fly ball.
You don't want to hit it to that
center
guy.
field. He'll catch everything. Mason Peterson is that guy, makes the catch. The Dragons go down. 1 base runner, leave 1 on. We're through 3 here at Dragon Field. Dragons still lead 1-0. Dragon Baseball on CSR TV. We'll be back after these words.
Many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living, the number 4, Zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
As we move to the middle innings of this one, the District 7 6A finale, turned our calendars over to May and closing out the regular season on a Friday night. The Carroll Dragons at 18 wins and 4 losses, playing host to the 10-win, 12-loss LD Bell Blue Raiders. And the Blue Raiders hanging right with Carroll. It's the Dragons 1-0 to the top of the 4th, and Pete Nielsen.
Peterson, Satterwhite, and Moran to the plate for the LD Bell guys. And heart of the order against Kevin Kramer. Peterson grounded out back to the first baseman, Casey Combs, in the first inning. 2-0 count now to Peterson as Kramer falls behind. 3-0. Good speed, Mason Peterson. You don't want to let him, you want to make him earn his way on, Brad. Don't want to help him with a walk. 3-0 pitch up and away, ball 4. 4-pitch walk by Kevin Kramer. Leadoff base runner on for LD Bell, and here comes Jordan Satterwhite.
Satterwhite, a kiddo who likewise grounded out to first baseman Casey Combs in his first trip.
Looking to bunt, or maybe going to make Kevin throw a strike. First pitch, curveball popped up. It's in that never land, but here comes Bellamy taking control, and for the first out of the 4th inning. Good job by Ryan Bellamy taking control. Tonight's broadcast of Carroll Dragon Baseball on Champion Sports Radio is brought to you by, in part, Priority Signs and Graphics. That's custom building signs, pole signs, and LED message centers. Also, large format graphics. Where your sign is our top priority, that's on the web at PrioritySignsAndGraphics.com. J.B. Moran steps in, 0 for 1 on the night. Fly out to Ryan Bellamy, his first time. Curveball in there for strike 1.
We followed these Dragons certainly throughout the District 7 6A schedule, and you don't want to be guilty of taking airtight defense for granted, but they are, and we are a little bit maybe taking it for granted. Bellamy always seems like he's there. Drew Davis has been a magician. I can remember off the top of my head, Peter, an error on Matt Caterino on a pickoff throw, and I can remember a shortstop, Hudson Sanchez, booting one ground ball. And that's it.
I'm with you. I'm sitting here trying to think about it, and even the rotation at third base has been solid, and we've seen Krug, and we've seen Kramer, and we've seen some Brendan Gonzalez over there a couple times, and just solid defense. And, of course, anything hit between the scoreboard out there and the light pole in right center field, Eric Cole's going to track down, and Alex Johnston, which almost the same speed that Eric Cole has in center field. So solid defensively, but Brad, probably the stalwart defensively is the catcher, Nick Motley.
Yeah, just a rock of Gibraltar back there. The senior in Motley. You can't help but talk about Nick and not talk about his grandparents out in Post, Mr. and Mrs. King. Glad to have them along this evening. We knew you were here in spirit celebrating senior night with Big Nick, the team captain.
Just glad we were able to bring it to you. Oh, we got him leaning. Oh, almost. Good move that time by Kevin. Looked like that Peterson might have had thoughts of taking off that time. 1-1. 1 out. Top half of the 4th inning. Dragons lead 1-0. A 2-out RBI double back in the 2nd inning by Casey Combs. The difference in this one. Here's a 1-1. Curveball swings right through it, does J.B. Moran, and count goes to 1-2. Might have got away with one there, Brett. That was a little up.
If Nick Motley continues as he's committed to take the baseball talent southbound to McLennan County and McLennan Community College, let me tell you what, that is grade A junior college baseball down there.
And something tells me, I don't know, we've been doing this a little while. I'd like to say we a pretty good judge of talent. I'm thinking Nick Motley may be getting some phone calls other than McClellan Junior College. But what do I know?
Oh, well, we're certainly high on him, and I know the coaching staff's high on him, and anybody that plays against him always saying, I'll take your catcher first.
Little looper to second baseman Drew Davis for the second out inning. Lots of little lazy pop-ups as Kevin Kramer keeps LD Bell off balance here so far. 2 outs now here in the the top half of the fourth inning. And Skylar Cryer, the right fielder, comes to the plate. 0 for 1 on the night, a ground ball. Over to Casey Combs back in the second inning. Man on first, 2 out now for Bell. Pitch out. Oh, Nick threw it into center field.
Boy, sailed on him.
You know, sometimes when you have that much time, you overthrow it, and that's exactly what he did. I don't think he had a firm grip, and Peterson shows good speed, able to reach on the stolen base on the pitch out. Now, Bell, runner in scoring position with 2 out here, base hit ties this thing up.
Pete, I begrudgingly wrote E2 in my book.
Boy, oh boy, you'd have some people climbing into the press box if you were the official scorer, my friend. That's a tough ruling. Do you want to change it or no?
Good throw. He has him dead to rights.
So you're going to stay with that, huh?
I'm going to stay with E2 in the unofficial scorebook.
Well,
I think Nick Miley would look up here and agree with me.
And Grandma and Grandpa, that's brad.denton at trinity.com. And now Nick just gets hit flush in the head with a foul ball. You see what you've done? Oh, Bradley.
1-0 airtight, and the Bell Blue Raider in scoring position, top of the fourth with 2 men out.
1-2 count to Cryer.
Trying to change subject here.
That's our catcher. We're not a Capel. 1-2, 2 out. Kramer's pitch, thankfully. Runner goes down in the dirt. Great block by Motley, but no chance.
Boy, nice pitch to run on right there.
Is that an error, too?
Nope. Stolen base.
Okay.
Got the first on the walk, second on the error, and third on the stolen base. Paul Gibson being very aggressive. I don't think he's going to send him home. But
no bunt cake for you. Here's the 2-2. Fouled straight back. Boy, Skylar Craig battling here in his at-bat. But nice crowd here on a Friday night. Big game, last game of district play. Last game of the season for LD Bell. Not going to qualify for postseason play. Curveball swings through it, strike 3. Kramer's first strikeout of the evening could come not at a better time. We go to the bottom half of the fourth. Dragons lead 1-0. You're watching the Dragons play baseball on CSR TV.
Tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
All right, ball game in this, the regular season finale. 1-0 Dragons have the lead as we take play to the bottom of the fourth inning. And a big catcher, Nick Motley, to lead it off, the cleanup swinger. Flew out deep to center field his first trip. Motley into the ball game hitting a robust .448. To tell you about it, here's my partner, Pete Nielsen.
Well, thank you, Brad Denton. interesting conversation up here in between innings about Peterson's steal of third base with 2 outs. And, the three of us, you, myself, and our favorite PA announcer down there,
Mr. Ken Goodman.
Mr. Ken Goodman, we're all the old school variety. And if Peterson gets thrown out at third base, I don't know if you put him back on the bus to drive back to LD Bell. But I guess that's old school baseball, but that's hit on the rocket again to the third baseman. But fine play by J.B. Moran, able to get Nick Motley for the first out.
Boy, that's twice Nick's hit it on the button. That one got to Mr. Moran in a hurry on one hop.
Nice play, though, by Moran, staying down and making a solid throw. The first baseman, Preston Newman, had to use all of that body over there to stretch and make the play.
Here's Combs, and he's the kiddo who scored the only Dragon run of the night. Before Casey stands in, I remind you that tonight's broadcast of Carroll Dragon Baseball on Champion Sports Radio is brought to you in part by Aruzo's.
That ball is hammered deep left center field, and it's out of here. Casey Combs takes the first pitch of the at-bat over the left center field fence. Dragons lead 2-0. Home run number 1 on senior night for Casey Combs. Somebody get out in the parking lot and find that baseball for him.
I mentioned as Casey stepped in, he had scored the game's only run. Now he's scored both of the runs.
Well, arm slot problems apparently isn't one for Casey Combs. Now 2 for 2 on the night. Drew Davis steps in. Lead off RBI double back in the second inning for Davis. Was the first, accounted for the first Dragon run. Fastball down in the zone, strike 1.
And let me try this again. Tonight's broadcast of Carroll Dragon Baseball on Champion Sports Radio is brought to you in part by Aruzo's Italian Street Food. Fresh, fast Italian food where family and friends go. Order online at Aruzo.com. Aruzo's.
It's a good place. Curveball up in the zone. Drew stays back as long as he possibly can, but fouls it straight back for 1-2 count now on Drew Davis.
Also on our lineup, sponsor card, SportsMed Chiropractic. Former Dragons pitcher and UTA Maverick, Dr. Ryan Robinson, has a practice which is located on Main Street over in Grapevine. It's Dragons helping Dragons get back in the game and keeping them there. SportsMedChiro.com. SportsMed Chiropractic.
Thank you, Brad Denton. The 1-2 pitch was a 57-foot curveball. Count went to 2-2. That one fouled off. Count stays at 2-2 to Drew Davis, the dependable Dragon second baseman.
Yeah, he's very special with a glove. And doing it with the bat, particularly in this latter half of District 6-7, 6A play. Into the ball game at 2:55, and as you mentioned, 1 for 1, a ringing double drove in the Dragons' first run of the night.
Count runs full now to Davis. Fouls off another pitch. Boylan, good pitches.
So if we were looking ahead for Carroll Dragon playoff opponents out of District 8-6A, it'd probably start with an M, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think it's going to be, well, I'm not even going to guess. I've learned. You've taught me better, Brad, not to guess.
I'll go ahead and write my own rule and say it's either going to be
Mansfield or Midlothian?
Midlothian or Mansfield.
Hey, you know, we've talked about Midlothian and Jimmy Faust. There's another young man that's undefeated on the mound, too. Taylor, I believe. Yeah. So they're loaded. Ball 4, good at bat for Drew Davis.
And I tell you, if it's Mansfield, the Tigers a quality ball club. If you just look at the record, which I think was 15 or 16 wins, only 3 losses.
Yeah, we saw Mansfield last year. Looks like Ryan Howard, the young man that we were going to tell you about earlier, runs out to the mound, talks to the pitcher, Satterwhite.
Well, our roots in the northern suburbs of Dallas, Peter. You and I dating back to our days on the Carrollton Little League Board of Directors a decade plus ago. Pony, whatever
it was.
One of the kids we grew up watching come through the ranks is the guy that's the top assistant for Paul Gibson at LD Bell. His name's Ryan Howard. He was a crackerjack ball player coming up through the ranks and was a real star a decade and a half ago at Newman Smith High School. Boy, a salty second baseman. Played for his uncle Fred Howard, who somehow didn't ever win a state championship with all the baseball success he authored there at Newman Smith in Carrollton.
Boy, they were the Carroll. They were the Carroll of baseball for so many years over there, and they built them a brand new ball yard, and things haven't been the same over there at Kelly Field ever since. What a beautiful place that is, Brad, to watch a ball game from. Kelly Field, over on Kelly Boulevard in Carrollton. Meanwhile, here's Brian Bellamy. Bellamy 0 for 1 on the night, struck out back in the second inning. 1 out, 1 on. 1 across so far here in the fourth inning for the Dragons. A solo home run by Casey Combs, accounting for the second Dragon run. 1-0 pitch by Satterwhite. Bellamy swings through it. Count goes to 1-1.
Combs becomes only the fourth Dragon to go deep this year. Parker Smith had a home run. Hudson Sanchez has 2. And, of course, Nick Motley had a 6th-round tripper on Wednesday night. Now Casey Combs joins the fray with his first.
Runner goes, and good throw, but not even close there for Drew Davis as he steals second base. Getting a runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the fourth inning. Bellamy behind in the count, 1-2. Good throw that time by Rainier. Brad, just
good jump.
Too good of a jump. Outside, count goes to 2-2. Two and two. Man on scoring, in scoring position. Curveball in the dirt. Ball 3. Nice job again.
Good look right there. Nice job by Reyna. You were going to say that, but a good look laying off that by Bellamy.
Yep. So full count. 1 out. Runner on second base for your Dragons. And see what Bellamy can do. Fouls it. Maybe not. Pops it straight up. Pitcher's going to call it. Satterwhite now getting called off by the big first baseman, Preston Newman, says, I got a bigger glove. Get out of the way. Makes the catch. 2 out now.
And get out of the way, he did.
Newman's a big young man. I'd run too. And here's Kevin Kramer. See if he can help himself. Two out. Man on second base. Dragons lead 2-0. Kramer 0 for 1 on the night. Little looper here. That's Mayfall. Right fielder's going to come over and make the play, though. Skylar Cryer makes the play, and that's the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left on base. We're through 4 here at Dragon Field. Dragons lead 2-0. More after this. Watching CSR TV presentation of Dragon Baseball.
On all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Take me out to the ball game.
Top half of the 5th inning here at Dragon Field to bring you home along the way, all the rest of the way. Here's Brad Denton.
Thank you, Peter Nielsen. It is the bottom third of the Blue Raider lineup card. Preston Newman, Cody Reyna, and Carter Cleveland still working against Kevin Kramer. And haven't solved much of Kevin tonight. Only 1 strikeout for the senior right-hander, but he has silenced Bell thus far on a mere 2 hits. 1-1 the count to Newman, who popped out to right field his first play. This one
Newman
in the air and out of play behind the Dragon first base dugout. Top of the fifth, Dragon Baseball Champion Sports Radio brought to you by Alcorp Marketing. Thank you to Ben Allen and the Allen family. To find out more, visit alcorpmarketing.com.
Good pitch. Wow.
Boy, somehow doesn't get the call there, and the count goes 2-2.
Compared to the strike zone we had the other night, this thing is a thimble.
That's in the air, and that may be in play at right side. Digging his combs, everybody there right behind the Dragon dugout one more time, out of play. Boy, we roll out the superlatives and the kudos to Larry Hughes, but he couldn't do any of this stuff with the program without his assistant coaches. Austin Cranford, Larry Buchan, Doug Teakle, Kevin Colwell. I'll bet you those guys are the ones that authored the beauty of Dragon Field, or a good part of it.
Cast of thousands.
Oh, good pitch right there. My goodness. Count goes full, and I don't see how.
Well, he's been consistent all night, Brad, with the strike zone. He's not giving them. It's going to have to be a strike, apparently. No corners.
And there it is, straight back at us. We bat in the top of inning number 5. Carroll run scored on an RBI double off of the bat of Drew Davis in the second inning. And in the bottom of the fourth inning, a solo home run over to the left center field wall by Casey Combs. 2-0. Fastball inside corner and back-to-back strikeouts. First pair of Ks into the book, and this one KC and out number 1, Preston Newman, top of the fifth inning.
Newman looking inside, I think outside, got surprised with the fastball inside, and Kev got the call for the first out of the inning.
Here's catcher Cody Reyna. Curveball just missed up. 1-0. The count to Reyna. You look at Bell, and they're seeing a ball game from a totally different perspective than Carroll is, and that this is Bell's finale. They don't qualify for the playoffs. There's no hope beyond tonight.
Hey! Oh, the net.
Watch the camera out there, Trent.
I was ready for that one. Did you see? Look, my hand's up. I was protecting the bunt cake.
Cody Reyna with a count of ball and 2 strikes. Kevin Framer, after the sign from Motley, kicks and deals, hit on a line. That's going to be a base hit. And Motley, or rather Bellamy out in right field, will catch it on a hop. But Reyna with a solid base hit the other way to right field.
Third hit of the game for the LD Bell Raiders. A little courtesy runner for the catcher coming in, checking that number. That's number 10. While we figure out who that is. Again, a shout-out to our friends at Alcorp Marketing. Thank you to Ben Allen and the Allen family. To find out more about Alcorp Marketing, checking them out. alcorpmarketing.com.
That 1-0 on the gray Bell jersey belongs to Nathaniel Bassett, the pinch runner, as Carter Cleveland steps in. Cleveland at the bottom of the lineup. Takes a look at an offering up from Kramer. Carter Cleveland's the guy who popped it up, and it was caught by the pitcher. Kramer, his first trip back in the third inning. But right now, Bell down by a pair at 2-0 with a man on and 1 out. Top of the fifth. As Yogi said when the October shadows creeped out in left field when he was playing out there, it gets late early. That's what Bell's saying right now, getting late early, trailing by 2 with only 8 outs to play with.
Is that what they're saying?
Well, no, Yogi was playing left field in the shadows in October, and he misplayed a fly ball. And they asked him what happened. Yogi, he said, well, it gets late early out there.
Have you been eating your cake over there? Meanwhile, 3-1, 2-1 to Carter Cleveland, a designated hitter.
That was Yogi's explanation to the New York press when they crowded his locker after the game. What happened? You know, it gets late early out there.
Yeah, well. Meanwhile, the Cowboys are on the clock, if anybody cares, with their second-round pick. I'll let you know.
2 balls and a strike to Carter Cleveland.
Multitasking.
absolutely Chamber of Commerce spring evening.
I could use a little bit of a breeze. It's a little sticky up here.
County.
Yeah, I know. You got it blowing on you. What else do you need over the fan?
Well, I didn't really need anything, and then all of a sudden I got a lemon bun cake.
And then you got the fan, too. You didn't even put your bag down before you saw that.
Doesn't get much better.
3-1.
I'm hoping for a deep playoff run with many games staged right here. 3 balls and a strike to Carter, Cleveland. Kramer delivers. That's right down the heart of the plate and fouled over the top of us. And will stay at a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Runner did not go that time, partner. Kind of weird, huh? As aggressive they are with Peterson, your courtesy runner Nathaniel Bassett stays put over there on the 3-2 pitch.
This year, number 22 under Paul Gibson for Bell. In the Gibson era, they have qualified for 13 playoff appearances, winning 7 district championships. Here's Kramer. There's the runner going. Strikeout. Nick Motley can't get it uncorked. Maybe looking back to the umpire, perhaps batter interference, but doesn't get a call.
Well, Brad, it happened 3 times the other night. And the difference between that and what happened there, Nick didn't throw the ball. You've got to throw the ball to get that call. And that's what Larry Hughes is going to ask about. Because this is what happened. They called it 3 times on Carroll the other night. Carroll had consecutive innings with the leadoff runner on. 3-2 pitches, they all went. The guy batter struck out, walked in front of the catcher, and they got a double play on it. 3 innings in a row.
My goodness. You don't see that, and Larry Hughes at least wants to talk about it.
He's not going to get the call, Brad, because Nick didn't throw the ball.
Well, live and learn, and I'll promise you, Nick Motley will live and learn on this, and he'll cut it loose next time and hopefully get a call and not a wild throw, and that's all.
With the 60th pick of the 2015 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Randy Gregory, defensive end, University of Nebraska. And thumbs up for that. We just keep the wacky tobacco away from that guy, and we got us a starting defensive end. Back to the game. Back to you, Brad.
Top of the order, Kyle Broussard with 2 outs and a man on second base, and Nathaniel Bassett, the pinch runner. And Broussard has swung the hottest of the Blue Raider bats. He is 2 for 2 on the evening. And Bell now with 3 hits overall. Broussard has 2 of them. Both clean base hits and both right back through the box. 1 on the ground, the initial on a line. From the stretch, Kevin Kramer will step off.
Brad, 2 of the last 3 strikeouts now for Kramer, and 3 in a row, but one mixed in there is that single by Rainier. So Kevin seeming to find and get stronger as the game's going on here.
There's the pitch, just missed low. 1-1 the count to Broussard.
I'm happy with that pick, by the way. Big part of this game, though, so let's worry about that.
No, I've heard some good things about.
He's a player. He just has a problem with the. Anybody who would test positive for marijuana the week of the combine, he's getting bad advice. Okay, let's cut to the chase here.
Bad advice resulting in bad decisions.
Yeah, and he's tweeted out something today that he's realized of the errors in his ways, and he's going to make up for all these people that are passing him on him. So we'll see.
Blue Raiders batting, trailing 2-0, top of the 5th. 2 out, the runner at second base. Broussard
Good
the hitter.
pitch.
Good look right there. He lays off of ball 2.
You perhaps can hear the murmur in the crowd. I've been behaving with the home plate umpire, but boy, that was close.
Kramer to Broussard. Oh, he checks the swing, but it's a called strike 2.
Off speed there. Brad had him out in front, couldn't pull the trigger. Well, I can't wait any longer.
Go ahead. Belly up to the trough, known as nothing but cakes.
It's looking at me saying, enjoy me.
2-2 with 2 outs. Kramer to Broussard. On the ground at the shortstop. Billingsley comes across the body. The late throw, the infield single by a hustling Kyle Broussard, his third in as many trips.
Tough play for Billington, but it would have taken an absolute, not hit very hard, and he's playing up the middle, Brad. Had to go a long way for that one, and with Broussard's speed, no chance to get him. Now, first and third, 2 out. L.D. Bell refusing to go away, and here comes Coach Hughes. I believe that's Coach Hughes.
Yeah, it is Larry Hughes going to come in, going to bring his infield in, going to talk about the situation, which is Bell Blue Raiders propped at the corners, Broussard at first base, and that's Nathaniel Bassett now at third base. Mentioned Coach Hughes, a local product in the metropolitan area, 1974 graduate of Irving MacArthur High School, an old Cardinal. Well, same can be said for Paul Gibson. He stayed in his own school district, a graduate of Euless Trinity back in 1982. Was a heck of a infielder there, good collegiate infielder at North Lake Junior College. And Paul Gibson now in his 22nd year at L.D. Bell. So neither one of these guys fell far from the tree. Larry Hughes trying to get out there and find a way to record this third out. Still a tight ball game with his Dragons up by the meager margin of 2-0.
Second baseman Caleb Irvin coming to the plate here, 0-2 on the evening, Brad. Big opportunity here for this young man.
Flew out to Eric Cole his last trip. Had that first inning sacrifice bunt. Good speed on the bases. Broussard at third, Bassett at first base. Or Broussard at first and Bassett at third, rather. And squaring as if he's going to bunt and taking all the way in, called strike one, is Caleb Irwin.
Key part of this ball game right here.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's what Larry Hughes had to say. Let's put a cork in this thing right now. There's 2 outs. Wouldn't be surprised to see Broussard try to draw a throw and try to steal, honestly, and get Bell maybe to try to force Carroll to make a mistake.
Which is very, very rare, but, you know, you put pressure on him like that. Oh, they call the balk.
And a run will score. First run of the game is Nathaniel Bassett running for the catcher, Cody Reyna, who got a base hit. And now from first to second base goes Kyle Broussard. That was a big, healthy lead by Broussard at first base.
Yeah, and that's what led to, I think, Kevin was thinking about throwing over and started and stopped, and you just can't do that.
2-1.
Too close for comfort right here. There he goes.
There he goes to third. Motley fires it down. The one hopper comes up and is snagged there by Krug, the third baseman. But in the meantime, Broussard sliding underneath the tag with a stolen base.
If Motley makes a good throw, which 90% of the time he does, that's not even close over there.
Boy, Broussard does have good speed.
Coach Gibson running the just way. You know, probably with the attitude, well, we got to lose.
Got nothing to lose. Can beat one of the really good teams in the area here if we get lucky. Here's Irwin, no ball, 2 strikes. That's hit in the air. Drew Davis at the rim of the infield will snag it deep second base to retire the Blue Raiders, who score a run. Do it on 2 hits and no errors and 1 man left on base. We have an airtight one through 4.5 innings, middle of the 5th. New count from Dragon Field. It's Carroll 2. It's Bell 1 on CSR TV.
I'm in a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting. It's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need StatGeek, the simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball. Produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports. Send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's sports statistic collection redefined. StatGeek is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at statgeek.com. StatGeek, keep your eye on the ball.
Bottom 5 here, 2-1. Dragons lead LD Bell, Billington, Johnson, Farrar coming to the plate for the Dragons. Tell you all about it, is Brenda.
The Blue Raiders push one across top 5 to sever this Dragon lead right in half. 2-1 Carroll as Billington steps in. Stephen at shortstop. Interesting, when the seniors were introduced tonight, the Billington twins were the first pair out of the dugout. Stephen wears number 1. Brother Michael wears number 28.
And now they're up here running the scoreboard. This is a family engaged in Dragon baseball. And they deliver food. What else can they do? Are they going to go out and rake the field after the game? Here's a base hit for Stephen.
And there's Stephen Billington ripping one to center field. And nice way to get this 5th inning underway for the Dragons.
All right, I'm going to go out and say it. That's for you, Mom.
Or sister.
Or sister.
Yeah, the Billington triplets, as I understand.
See if the Dragons come back and got a pinch hitter here.
Cadena, Ross Cadena will step in for Alex Johnston. Cadena, the sophomore, he's had a nice year.
In and out of the lineup lately, and opportunity here for him to find the way to get back into the lineup here. Hit a base hit.
Ross hitting .308 on the season. That is Billington at first base. Stephen with a pretty good-sized lead. Here's the pitch to Cadena. And that's outside, and it's 2 balls, no strikes to Ross.
Is it me, or is he shot putting it a little bit more?
I like the slingshot definition myself, but he's been very effective. You know, Combs tags him for the long ball in the bottom of the 4th to take the lead to 2-0, but that has been, as I mentioned, trimmed in half. Cadena looks at ball 3.
He might be getting close to the end of his rope here, Brad.
Yeah, he's thrown quite a few pitches.
There is warm-up action down the left field line.
And I think that was Mr. Mayer. Previously, a pair of 2s on the gray jersey, a William Mayer.
He was your starting pitcher the other night.
Senior right-hander, and I believe that's the guy taking the tune-up tosses. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Cadena. Fastball misses low and away, and a couple of Dragons are aboard Cadena on the free pass.
2 out, nobody on.
Good speed with Billington moving to second base. And here's Farrar, who tagged one to deep center field, only to be run down by Mason Peterson near the wall back in the 1st inning. And here's Paul Gibson. Here's Ryan Howard, I guess, the first assistant who's going to make the trip out to the mound. Talk to one Jordan Satterwhite. And I got the glasses now, and I'll be able to make you wish if I'm telling the truth or not. I believe it is a 1-6. Jarrett Fuller, 6'1", junior at 175 pounds, infielder/pitcher, who is warming up behind the Blue Raider dugout in the Bell bullpen. And Ryan Howard, I think, is buying some time for Mr. Fuller to get a full warm-up in.
Review on the red velvet bunt cake?
Straight 2 thumbs up.
Outstanding.
I noticed you weren't having much
I had nothing to say.
any problems getting around it over there.
Let's just say it's gone.
And here's Zach Farrar. They will leave Jordan Satterwhite in to face Farrar, who is, in a word, very dangerous. I guess that'd be 2 words. Oh, that's a rope right there. And that will drive in Billington from second base, and moving to third is Ross Cadena. Here's Farrar taking advantage of the throw to third and advancing to second base. RBI single for Zach Farrar, advancing on the throw, and Ross Cadena moving from first to third on the play and scoring a third Dragon run of the night is Stephen Billington.
Good speed on the bases that time. No hesitation by Cadena. That ball was hit hard. Center fielder Mason Peterson was there in a hurry. They had no chance for him at third base. Second and third, nobody out.
And one across, they could just get some separation right here. Eric Cole stands in, working against a seemingly fatigued Jordan Satterwhite.
Senior, you kind of think maybe Coach Gibson saying, hey, he's a senior, let's see what he can do. You know, we don't want to take him out in his last opportunity, but another hit, it might be time to get him out outside corner.
Called strike. 1-1 the count to Eric, hitting .400 on the season. Nothing for 2 tonight. Popped out to the pitcher, flew out to center field. There's a hard hit ball. Nobody's at first. Wait for the first baseman. Beat him there. Base hit, RBI. Eric Cole with good speed. The infield hit legged out.
First baseman ventured too far that time, and by the time he got back over there, Eric Cole's speed just outraced the first baseman and outraced the throw by the second baseman at Irwin, and 4-1 Dragons, and that's going to be it for Satterwhite, Brad. And while we have the pitching change, let's say thank you to some more of our Carroll Dragon sponsors. And Classic Silks and Accents, offering fine custom silk florals, window treatments, and accessories for residential and commercial interiors. Proudly designing their customers for the past 15 years. Call Diana at 817-821-4756. That's Classic Silks and Accents.
Tonight's broadcast of Carroll Dragon Baseball also brought to you in part by Paragon Design Group. Designing incredible custom homes and remodels for over 23 years. Call Robert at area code 817 and let him show you how they can serve your residential design needs at Paragon Design Group. Peter, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you. I thought you were going to split that in half with me. So I do beg your pardon.
Going to give you the opportunity to introduce everybody with our new pitcher.
Well, I can do that too. As you certainly get out of my way better than I did yours, huh? Jarrett Fuller is the youngster's name, an angular junior at 6'1" and 175 pounds, and he's a right-hander. And one of those kiddos that may have to run around the shower to get wet. He's that skinny. But he's out there and throws it up there pretty good, and a far more traditional delivery than his predecessor in Jordan Satterwhite. But on that latest Eric Cole infield single, that chased home Ross Cadena from third base. And Farrar, Zach moving from second now to third base. And so with Cole at first and Farrar at third, up steps Nick Motley, who has hit it hard twice and nothing to show for it. The fly ball to deep center field in the second, and a smash to the third baseman in the fourth inning. Nothing for 2.
Can't close the book on Satterwhite yet because those 2 runners on the bases are his responsibility. Once we get to that point, I'll give you the final numbers on Jordan Satterwhite.
Jarrett Fuller, Now toes the rubber and gets a sign from his catcher, Mr. Cody Reyna, and brings in his first offering, a curveball down low, and laying off of it is Motley. Carroll's lead, which was perilous into this bottom of the fifth, now a seemingly comfortable 4-1. Bell cut it to the 2-1 lead in the top of the fifth. There's the pitch, and again, Motley lays off ball 2.
Very, very careful with Nick Motley.
Obviously, the ball carrying very well tonight. The Combs home run was hit well, but it carried pretty good, too.
Out by the scoreboard.
That is deep. That is straightaway center field. Peterson gives chase, and one more time in front of the 400-foot sign will retire Nick Motley on a deep sac fly. Farrar could have walked in backwards and scoring from third base with run number 5 for Carroll. Sac fly and a deep one off of the bat of Nick Motley.
Just keeps getting it just under, Brad, just under it a little bit and hitting it to the deepest part of the ballpark. Peterson caught that maybe 5-6 feet from the 400-foot sign.
Wow. But how about a team leading 33rd? A run batted in for Motley.
He's pretty impressive. Pretty darn impressive, and back there behind the dish every night, and that takes a drain on you as well. Just outstanding senior season for Nick Motley.
Here's Combs. He is the guy that had the long ball power last inning. And down in the dirt and advancing is Eric Cole to second base.
I'll call that one a wild pitch down in the dirt.
I will, too.
Run the scoring position now with only one out. See if Mr. Combs can stay hot. 2 for 2 on the evening. You mentioned the home run he singled in the second inning.
The Dragon lead at 5-1. In the bottom of inning number 5. Dragon Field, and as you mentioned, a very nice crowd has turned out on a Friday night. Down in the dirt, seems like Mr. Fuller maybe aiming it, and I'll bet you that Coach Howard and the boys over there, rear back throw it, just like practice. Casey Combs with 3 balls and a strike. Fuller from the stretch comes over the top. Hit on the ground, left side. That's the shortstop. Barnhart makes the throw. It's short. Advancing. They'll be on the corners one more time. No, here's
Look at Casey.
Very aggressive run by Casey Combs. Found nobody covering second base and ends up at second base after an infield single.
What great hustle that time by Casey Combs. Infield single, like you mentioned. The throw, I don't think they get him with a perfect throw, but instead of running down the right field line that you'll see most guys do, he makes a hard left because the first baseman thinks he has a shot at third base. Now it's second and third, only one out, and an opportunity here for Drew Davis to bust this thing wide open.
Davis with an RBI double in the second. He walked in the fourth inning, 1 for 1 officially. Infield in on the corners. And Jarrett Fuller finding himself in a little bit of trouble. Boy, that's a
trouble.
rope. That's extra bases in the left field off the wall on 2 hops. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Drew Davis has now driven in 3 tonight with his second double. That's Eric Cole scoring, and that is also Casey Combs stepping on the pay station. 4 across in the inning for Carroll. Dragons lead at 6-1.
Brad, if you recall, they were playing Drew Davis earlier in the game to go to right center field. Well, so far tonight, he's got a double to left center, and now one down the line. I think the scouting report might not be right. We're going to have another
Gibson,
pitching
the head
change
coach,
here.
Sticks a hand out. Jarrett Fuller, after an abbreviated appearance, hands him the baseball. And let's see who we'll have coming on now for the Blue Raiders. Pitcher number 3 on the night.
Well, Brad, let's close the book on Jordan Satterwhite. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 6 runs, all of them earned. We yet to have an out here in the fifth inning.
We're familiar with this guy is Carter Cleveland, who will now be the pitcher for Bell. Cleveland, the designated hitter in tonight's Blue Raider lineup. Thus far at the plate, nothing for two, and now we'll see the right-hander on the mound.
Brett, the first batter that Fuller faced was Cole, correct? Or was it Farrar?
Well, I've got so many notes here on my scorebook, but I don't have that one, so I'm guessing right along with you.
I think it's Farrar. Yep, it was after the walk. Yeah, it was Farrar. So
after the walk to Cadena.
So he faces 5 batters, doesn't get anybody out. Jarrett Fuller, and already 1 run charged to him. The runner on second base is his responsibility as well.
Well, he did get Motley out on the deep fly ball to center field. It couldn't have been hit any harder.
Okay, you're right.
But other than that, sandwiched around
4 hits.
4 hits.
Tough outing for the youngster.
Including the most recent ringing double down the left field line, driving in 2 off of the bat of Drew Davis.
Yeah, here's Anthony Martin going to get a chance to swing the bat for the Dragons.
He'll hit for Ryan Bellamy.
Next up for the Dragons, number 14, Anthony Martin.
Anthony Martin's had some good hits on the season, 261 the average. Driven in 10 runs, scored 7.
This game was flying along. Flying, I tell you. 5 spot here in the bottom of the 5th has brought it to a screeching halt.
Martin, the 8th Dragon hitter in the frame. On the ground, the shortstop. Barnhart throws across in the dirt, can't make a play, goes behind. A run will score from third base. And that's Drew Davis, scoring actually from second when the play got underway. And advancing on the wild throw is Martin from first to second base. And that's E6 in my book.
I was giving you the sign over here.
What was it, E6?
There's the E.
Okay.
Number 6, Brendan Gonzalez.
Davis scores the 6th run of the inning. Here's Kramer. Can't pitch. No?
Nope.
That's not Kramer.
Nope.
That's Brendan Gonzalez. Isn't it?
Brendan Gonzalez wears number 6, and that's who exactly is in the right-hand batter's box. For Gonzalez, an 18th at bat on the year, hitting .353 in limited play time.
How good is this team? He's batting over 300, can't get a chance to play. 9th batter. Dragons have batted around.
1 ball, now 2 balls, no strikes to Brendan Gonzalez.
Well, we can close the book on Garrett Fuller. 3rd of an inning pitch, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned.
Closer, but no strike, 3-0. Carter Cleveland to Brendan Gonzalez, called strike 1. They've won 10 out of 22, these Bell Blue Raiders. That's up high. Ball 4 to Gonzalez. And that goes back to the guy who led all this off in the 5th inning.
Stephen Billington.
Stephen Billingsley. Got a solid base hit.
Steve Billington gets another hit. This one will be for his sister. The first one for his mom. Up here manning the scoreboard for us tonight. And delivering cake.
There's the shot on the ground. Third baseman in no man's land pops off the billfold and fires a bullet across to retire Billington. Out number 2 in the inning. Boy, J.P. Moran took the long way home that time.
Spinorama.
Was thinking about the force play that would have been in effect at third base, but in the process, he, as I mentioned, fell just flat on the billfold, but popped up off the just almost like a spring-loaded billfold, and then fired to Newman to retire Stephen Billington.
It's like a jack-in-the-box.
And it's Ross Cadena for his second at-bat of the inning.
Hey, we chuckle about it. He still made the out, buddy.
He did. Had a good arm. Cleveland, again, difficulty with the strike zone. 2 balls, no strikes to Ross. Cadena walked and scored previously in this inning. Carroll has tallied 6 in the frame. That's in the air, down right field line, no man's land, and just falls as a harmless foul ball beyond first base.
Cadena entered the game this inning as a pinch hitter, walked and scored. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs. 8-1.
6 runs on 5 hits thus far. Over the top, missing low. We mentioned Carroll securing the playoff berth. How about number 18 in this, the 19th year as the head man for Larry Hughes?
Yeah, that's awesome. Just awesome. And then the more you're around the man, the more you respect him. Whoa.
And it's when Carroll really has made some hay. I mean, in the previous 17 playoff appearances under Larry Hughes, they have won 48 while losing only 16 in playoff competition. 48-16. Boy, there's a base hit right there. Ross Cadena will chase home 1, will chase home 2, and going to second base on the throw home is Cadena. Driving in 2 runs.
Nice job of hitting there by Cadena, Brad, and 2 more in. 8 on the inning for the Dragons. BD, if Zach Farrar can bring this run in, we get to go home early.
Well, there's 2 down.
I just jinxed us.
And here's Farrar. 10-1 the lead. Need 1 more here in the bottom of the 5, and we do call it ball game, but I think Farrar is going to see a left-hander. Yeah, he is.
Coach Gibson.
Seen enough of Carter Cleveland, so a third pitcher.
I think that's Will Meyer
I guess it is Will Meyer. 6'1", 150-pound senior.
While they make the pitching change, we'll go to break. 10-1 Dragons, bottom half of the 5th. We'll be back after this.
Harold Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute. Online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
New pitcher on the mound for LD Bell, and we saw him Wednesday night, Brad.
Will Mayer is the name, and he is upperclassman, a senior. Wears number 22 on the gray jersey tonight. Stands 6'1", weighs in at 150 pounds, and was fairly effective against Carroll on Wednesday night. Wow, Carroll scored 8 on 6 hits thus far in this explosive 6th inning, and Farrar can close it out with a base hit to chase home Cadena from second base. That's in the air to left field, and Kyle Broussard has a beat on it and retires. Carroll retiring Farrar, but not before the 8 runs were scored on 6 hits. Carroll leaves one. No Bell errors. New count lopsided here at Dragon Field through 5. It's Carroll 10 and LD Bell 1 on CSR TV.
Do you need a boost in exposure? Want to reach local, community-minded folks with information about your business? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games for more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. It's also a way for your business to give back to the community by helping all these well-deserving student athletes get some recognition for their accomplishments. The cost simply can't be beat for the effect it will have. You get a lot of bang for your buck, and best of all, it provides an opportunity for the best advertisement of all, word of mouth. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334 or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
BD with the 10-1 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. I think Coach Hughes is making a line change. Got a new pitcher. I see the young man who's singing the national anthems out at second base. Let's get to the pitcher first. I see a big number 2-0 on his jersey.
Well, let's talk about that. It's not 2-0. It can't be 2-0. 2-0 is our man Matthew Cantorino.
Cantorino's 24.
Am I nuts? Let's see. I've got some help here. Bukowski, that's actually 29 in disguise, Peter.
Thanks.
Reed Bukowski, a senior pitcher, a right-hander, submariner, taking the tune-up tosses. You mentioned the second baseman who has checked in, the guy who did a marvelous job singing our national anthem tonight. He wears number 24. He's Jeremy Fernando. And taking over in left field is Ross Cadena. I think other than that, we stay pat with Bellamy in right and Eric Cole in center field. Krug, Billington, left side of the infield, and now it's Fernando and Casey Combs playing second and first base respectively. Nick Motley continues behind the plate, and Reed Bukowski is on to pitch. Reed with 1 inning pitch thus far this year. Only game that he played in, gave up a run. No strikeout, 1 hit by pitch. But again, you'll see as he takes the warm-up tosses, comes submarine style, and that can be effective.
Line on Kevin Kramer, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 run, and it was earned. No solid effort by Kevin Kramer. Said Mr. Fernando's in there at second base.
It'd be fun if Jeremy could make a play because he sure got this thing started with that rendition of our national anthem. Just beautiful. And leading off here, 3, 4, and 5, Mason Peterson, Bell's center fielder, top of the 6th inning. And that's lifted other way and going to fall for a base hit in front of Cadena in left field from Mason Peterson.
2-out, 2-hit night for Peterson.
Here's Jordan Satterwhite, was the opening pitcher. And lasted quite a while.
Yeah, 4 innings.
I guess now he's wearing the designated hitter's role. Juggle that lineup around. Nevertheless, Satterwhite, the cleanup hitter, 0 for 2 on the night. Grounded to Combs at first base.
That pitch ate
flew
him
out
up.
to right fielder Ryan Bellamy in the other trip.
Oh, there's one other change. Sam Avers is now checked in center field.
Now I see that now. Avers out in center field. Thank you very much, Mr. Goodman.
Cadena in left.
And Bellamy continues to work in right field. And 0-2 the count. Bukowski.
Remember, Cadena pinch hit for Johnston back at what seems to be 45 minutes ago in that inning and stays in the game in left field.
Yeah, got to bat twice in
Good
the inning.
pitch. How about that, BD?
Strikeout for Reed Bukowski.
Bukowski. Dan Quisenberry-like.
Yeah. Effective, one up after the base hit and one down in the books. Top of the sixth. Carroll again scoring 8 in the bottom of the fifth inning to bust this thing wide open. It was 2-1 through 4.5. J.B. Moran, Bell third baseman, stands in. That's a good curveball and knocked out of play.
Very, very deceptive. I tell you, deceptive.
Reed Bukowski, Bukowski. Really goes down, and there it comes. Good called strike right there. And jumping out ahead of J.B. Moran at no balls and 2 strikes. Moran nothing for 2.
Moran looks back at the home plate umpire, and the umpire was like, what do you want me to do? Right down the middle there.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Moran looked nothing close to healthy at that at-bat. Back-to-back strikeouts from Reed Bukowski.
My friend, that's right out nasty.
Let me tell you something, that there may be a spot for Reed Bukowski in a big old upcoming playoff game.
You say on the roster he's number 29, but I promise he's wearing number 20 tonight.
I think he stole Matthew Cantorino's jersey and maybe had some luck.
Could have swore Cantorino was 24. What do I know? We'll go back and find an old line score.
See what you have. I'm not going to be confused until you tell me I'm wrong.
Well, you know.
Which could happen.
It's very rare when you are.
Bukowski now facing Skylar Cryer.
Oh, yeah, there's.
With 1 out and 2 on.
Well, I hate to say it. You're right. He's a 20. Yeah, I found 3 box scores with Cantorino, and he's 20.
Cantorino will end up being the winningest of the Dragon pitchers through the regular year, as he'll close at 7-1 after the Tuesday night win. That's lifted in the air. Casey Combs is going to catch that halfway up the first base line.
How about Mr. Bukowski?
Very nicely done. Gave up a hit, and no runs, and 1 man left on base, and into the bottom of the 6th. We continue at the Dragons 10, the Blue Raiders 1 on CSR TV.
On all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Bottom half of the 6th inning here at Dragon Field. Dragons lead 10-1 over the LD Bell Raiders. Bringing the bottom half of the 6th. I'll let you do that, my friend. Bring us bottom half of the 6th inning and tell us about his punt cake experience.
Leading off will be Sam Avers. Now playing center field for the Dragons. Carroll here into the bottom of the 6th, 1 run away from putting a lid on this and closing it out in run rule fashion. which is 10 after 5, had the chance to do that in the bottom of the 5th, could not get it done. After scoring 8, they needed 9. And this is Will Mayer continue to work on the mound. 1-1 the count on Sam Avers.
PD, I have a hot sports opinion. I know that makes you go, huh?
No, I'm all ears.
I'd like it to go the 7th inning, get to know one of these senior kids and somebody else out there on the bump and throw the ball a little bit.
I'm right with you. I'm right with you, Peter. And goodness, these Dragons have just exploded. Recall the back-to-back 10-0 wins over the Haltom Buffaloes a week ago. And then they touch the pay station 10 times already tonight. Lopsided in a win. You said wasn't as close as the 5-1 final on Wednesday.
Yeah, it wasn't that close. Another pinch hitter over there in the on-deck circle.
Avers slaps it down the first base line, fielded by Preston Newman. He'll do it himself. And Sam Avers retired for out number 1, inning number 6.
The Dragons, number 18, Parker Smith.
And Parker Smith steps up. Fun during the senior introductions when he said his biggest baseball thrill was a home run, his first varsity at bat.
Well, Parker plays the wrong position. He's the backup catcher. Mr. Motley doesn't come out of very many games.
There's the pitch and a call, strike 1 to Mr. Parker Smith.
My favorite baseball moment, can't recall who it was, but it was when one of the JV coaches got tossed by one of the female umpires. That was my favorite.
But you got to like the Parker Smith line. 1 at bat, 1 hit, home run, 3 RBIs. He'll swat it the other way, and Preston one more time. Mr. Newman down to gobble that up, and he'll do it himself.
Well, that batting average just went from 1,000 to 500 in a whisker.
And he hit it pretty hard, did Parker Smith.
Cole Ramage.
Cole Ramage.
Here's a sophomore in Cole Ramage.
Brad, how many at-bats has Cole Ramage had?
Well, I can tell you that.
I know. I put it on the tee for you.
And I can tell you it's not many. In fact,
is it?
Unofficially, this is Cole's initial at-bat of the 2015 season. He's had some really good innings pitching.
Hold on a second.
Has yet to bat.
Inside info, this is not Cole Ramage. It's Drew Bachman at the plate.
Inside info passed on. Happy to relay it.
You could have just talked right into the field mic, and you could have been on. It would have been great.
Drew Bachman. Roster says he's wearing number 27. Telling the story, he's wearing number 13.
Do we not have enough shirts?
Drew Bachman standing in with 2 outs and nobody on. Yeah, getting a square on that.
Thanks for one of the moms to come up and setting us straight.
I can promise you that is Jeremy Fernando loosening in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, he's the young man that sung so wonderfully.
I'd like to see him get on the bat.
Hey. Oh.
Call strike 3. And Drew Bachman is a strikeout. Nothing doing in the Carroll.
I think the home plate umpire wants to go watch the draft.
1, 2, 3. 2, the top of the 7th. The Carroll lead at 10-1 over LD Bell on CSR TV.
On all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Thankfully, we've reached the top half of the 7th inning here at Dragons Field as senior night has become everybody getting a game night, and that's good if you're a Dragon fan. The one good news, partner, Reed Bukowski's still out there on the bump. We know that's him and not Matthew Canarino. He just borrowed his jersey. Tell us, bring us home, please.
Far, the Blue Raiders, the 1 run on 4 hits. Carroll, 10 runs on 10 hits tonight. And Reed Bukowski will face the bottom third of the order. Leading off is a pinch hitter standing in for Preston Newman, and taking his hacks up there is Jarrett Fuller.
He pitched a little while ago.
A little bit. For about 5 batters. Didn't retire one. Had a tough outing. See if he can right the ship with the bat. There's Bukowski in a called strike one. 1-1 the count.
He's hitting for Newman, correct?
Hitting for Preston Newman.
Thank you, sir. My scorecard looks like a spring training game.
Bukowski just almost dragging those knuckles on the pitcher's mound.
Didn't the Rangers have a guy that did this during their successful season? What was his name?
I don't know. I always think of
Quisenberry.
Yes.
Was he a very, very successful right-hander? Man, I can't think of his name. Must have not been too successful.
Well, this guy's name is Bukowski. You might remember his name. That's deep. And giving chase in right field is Bellamy, and he'll run it down. And nice catch going back to the wall by Ryan Bellamy to retire Mr. Fuller.
Well, this is still Cody Raina. That's good.
Raina, 1 for 2, scored a run. Senior closing out a high school baseball career tonight against Bukowski, swing and a miss. Bell down to their last couple of outs, trailing 10-2, or 10-1 rather.
Tell you what, Bukowski is impressive.
Yeah, he is. I mean, there's, to a degree, an embarrassment of riches with this Carroll program. It's been a fun year. Remember how they raced through non-district at a washout and a cold out, but they never got 11 games in. Won all 11 of those.
They hadn't played a home game until district play. Is that
remember
bizarre?
We had Arlington Heights in the final non-district game here. If memory serves, that was St. Patrick's Day. Swing and a miss.
Wow. Strikeout number 3 for Reed Bukowski.
And then they opened up after that win over Arlington Heights to go 11-0 in non-district. Opened up district play with the tough pair of losses to Coppell 7-3 and 3-2. Then lose that heartbreaker at Richland 3-2 before ending up splitting with the Rebels, winning here 2-1 on Friday night. Split with Trinity, and then have run the table Heritage, Haltom, and now Bell. The win streak at 6 and counting into the playoffs. Swing and a miss, Cleveland, and 1-1 the count. Down to the last out, the Bell Blue Raiders.
Of the season for them.
Yeah, they're going to end up 10 wins, 13 losses. And Carroll will end up with 19 in the win column, only 4 in the loss column. Of course, all 4 of those were losses in District 7 6A competition. 2 to Coppell, 1 to Trinity, and 1 to Richland. Swing and a miss, and now just 1 strike away. Reed Bukowski has been terrific here in the 6th and 7th innings. The pitch, Bukowski to Cleveland. Just stays alive. Foul tipped into and out of the glove of Nick Motley behind the plate. Motley hangs a sign, working all the way from the stretch. Bukowski swinging a miss and a strikeout, and it's a winner for Carroll. And Bukowski striking out 4 of the 6 he faces in the last 2 innings of the ball game. For Bell, 1 run on 4 hits, and Carroll, their 10-run effort comes on 10 hits on the evening. And as I mentioned, 8 wins, 4 losses, the final district mark for Carroll. The Dragons at 19 wins, 4 losses, and on to the playoff. For Bell, close the curtain on the 2015 baseball season as they play 23 ball games, going 10-13 overall. The Blue Raiders in District 7 6A will win 3 while losing 9. But as you mentioned, it's a proud tradition over there, and a good man running the program in Paul Gibson, who closes out a 22nd year, one of his disappointing years, but they will be back.
Great finish to the season. Looking forward to next week.
6-game win streak to the playoffs for the Belle Blue, or rather for the South Lake Carroll Dragons, and ought to be fun. A second season again. Playoff appearance number 18 in this, the 19th year under head coach Larry Hughes. We'll be back. Recap this one. Carroll wins it 10-1 over LD Bell on CSR TV.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute. Online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Are you looking for a way to promote your business or increase exposure? Do you just need more people to know that you're there? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games to more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. Think about it. Die-hard fans just like you tune in each and every week, giving your business unparalleled access to the community. It's the perfect way for smaller individually owned businesses to cultivate a core clientele or expand their already loyal customer base. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334, or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays...
Let's go down the field to Brad Denton. He's got head coach Larry Hughes.
Thank you, Pete Nielsen. Alongside Carroll head coach Larry Hughes. Congratulations, Larry. Goodness, an 18th time in 19 years. You close out a regular year and have a postseason to to look forward to, and you do it a special night, senior night here. 20 seniors on your roster, and you've championed this group as one of your best group all year long.
Well, I mean, it's senior night's always, a fun night, at home. I try to get as many seniors in the lineup as we can, even though we'd clinched a playoff position. We still have a sort of a seeding position and tied with Richland. This game still had some meaning. So, we were definitely trying to win it.
And you took it out of the balance with 10 hits and 8 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning and end up winning it by a 10-1 final. But, hey, just congratulations. You talk about your seniors, and we can talk about what your starter Kevin Kramer did. But first, touch on one. Reed Bukowski had the 6th, 7th inning, struck out 4 in the process. Special.
Well, he's a guy that's he hadn't really pitched this year for us, but we just love that kid. He's a hard worker, and he's been a hard worker all 4 years, and he made himself doesn't have a whole lot of arm strength as far as fastball velocity and that kind of thing. And over the summer on his own, he dropped down and kind of turned into an unconventional pitcher all on his own, and worked hard this summer. And I actually saw him pitch, and when I saw him do that, I thought, well, good for him. I mean, he's working hard to do something to give himself a chance, and I was just glad that he got an opportunity tonight to get in the game.
Hey, keep swinging the bats tonight. Casey Combs goes yard.
Yeah, Casey's had a couple of really hot games. He's come through when we've needed him, and this was a close game till that 8-run inning, in the bottom of the 5th, and it was 2-1, and again, it was a game we needed to win. We just couldn't get anything going.
I'm going to talk to you about a kiddo right here, one of your seniors, one of your leaders and captains in Nick Motley. You can't hit it any harder than Nick did tonight. He does get the sac fly for a staggering RBI number 33 on the season.
Yeah, he just hit it to the wrong part of the park. It's 400, in dead center, and he gave that ball in the first inning, quite a ride. Probably could have scored on a sac fly, tagging from second on that one. But he means a lot to our team for sure behind the plate, and swinging the bat. He's our top RBI guy. So, he swung it good tonight.
Larry, I'm not going to let you get out of here unless we talk and look ahead, look around the corner. Playoffs, I mentioned your 18th appearance in your 19th year, and you've had a lot of success stories authored with Carroll in the second season. We'll take on a competitor out of District 8, 6A, and I'm making you a wish it's one of those M schools, either Mansfield or Midlothian.
It's actually in Mansfield is having a seeding game tonight as we speak. Might be over by now with South Grand Prairie too. So it could turn out to be either one of those 3 teams. Okay. So we don't really know until Richland's finished tonight because we're tied with them. And we'll see if we either, whatever our district minutes say and our athletic directors make us do, either play the seeding game tomorrow. If we do, it would be at 2 o'clock at Arlington Heights, or if they just want us to flip for the seeding since we're both in the playoffs. I'm not really sure. We'll find that out in the morning.
Check the website, right?
Check the website. That's right.
Larry, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Larry Hughes, Pete Nielsen, back up to you.
Always a pleasure for Brad to sit down with Coach Hughes. And the one thing I love the most about Coach Hughes' gang is how he will flat out just tell you how it is. There's no sugarcoating it. He'll tell you what he likes. He'll tell you what he's upset about. And right now I think he's pretty darn happy about this baseball team as they work their way into the playoffs. And stay tuned for who and where and when. Whatever it is, Brad Denton and I will be there with Trent, and we'll bring you all the action. So let's take one more break. We'll come back, wrap this thing up. A 10-1 Southlake Carroll Dragon victory tonight over LD Bell. Back after these words.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting. It's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute, online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Are you looking for a way to promote your business or increase exposure? Do you just need more people to know that you're there? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games to more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. Think about it. Die-hard fans just like you tune in each and every week, giving your business unparalleled access to the community. It's the perfect way for smaller individually owned businesses to cultivate a core clientele or expand their already loyal customer base. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334 or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
Back one more time here at Dragon Field before we say on to the playoffs.
Well, one more stop, Peter, for this Carroll Dragon Ball Club. Somewhat of an exhibition ball game tomorrow afternoon, scheduled 5 o'clock start at Arlington Heights.
But not here.
The Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
And, Coach Yu said, hey, I hope to get a whole lot of my seniors in and get some playtime for them while we close down the regular season. Non-district game. We won't be covering it, but it'll be at Arlington Heights again, 5 o'clock, the start time there. And I think this thing will settle into a coin flip to see who advances, assuming that Richland took care of business tonight.
That's the gut that I get to.
And I think they'll flip to see who advances as the third-place finisher and the fourth-place finisher out of District 7-6A. But a very successful district campaign, even though they stubbed their toe a time or two on the starting gate. Out of the 7-6A gate at 0-3, they end up winning 8 of the last 9 and closing at 8 wins and 4 losses.
And that one loss, remember, is a tough loss. It's a 2-1 loss on a wild pitch. So who knows what that, that makes a huge difference.
Hey,
but woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? I mean, you can't go back and do that. But what a great night tonight for the seniors. Kramer was great. Casey Combs was great. Drew Davis was great. It's a great night for the seniors here for Larry Hughes and his Dragons.
Yeah, it was. And you look at District 7, 6A, and there's 3 really good baseball teams in Trinity, Coppell, and Carroll, and one pretty doggone good team in the Richland Rebels who played maybe as well, maybe even better than they could through the District 6, 6A schedule.
I don't want to play them. The coach has got them ready to go.
Not with Trent Clark out there roaming in center field.
He's special.
The final line score tonight, the Carroll Dragons score their 10 runs on 10 hits. Carroll does commit 1 error, leaving 4 on base. And Bell limited to only 4 hits overall, and the Bell's Blue Raiders score their only run in the top of the 5th inning when they close what was then a Carroll lead from 2-0 to 2-1. And then the Dragons blow it wide open with an 8 spot in the bottom of the 5th inning. Certainly our thanks in order to our sponsors of Carroll Dragon Baseball on Champion Sports Radio.
Before you do that, a huge word of thanks to the South Lake Carroll Boys Baseball Booster Club. Because without them, Brad, we're not here. Coach Hughes has been after Thomas Lee for the last 5 years to come and do Carroll baseball. Finally made it work, and we couldn't have done it without him. We couldn't have done it without Mr. Leeper and Mr. Cole, and they made us feel welcome from day one, and I can't wait so they can get on a long run just for those guys.
Yeah, we'll track these Dragons throughout their playoff run. So one more time for Pete Nielsen, I'll tell you that a heartfelt thanks. And, Pete, I know you're jumping in there with thanks to our sponsors also.
Oh, absolutely. Can't do it without it. In fact, my bundt cake is gone. It was so good.
Tonight's broadcast of Carroll Dragon Baseball on Champion Sports Radio has been brought to you in part by Meet You Anywhere Barbecue, by Alcor Marketing, by Nothing Bundt Cakes, by Heritage Homes, and Priority Signs and Graphics. Also by Jeff Irwin State Farm Insurance Agency, the Heineman family, Speedy B Car Wash, Around the Plate Sports, Aruzzo's Italian Street Food, SportsMed Chiropractic, Classic Silks and Accents, and the Paragon Design Group. Carroll Dragon Baseball is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio on Twitter at Champion Sports, Facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and, of course, online at ChampionSportsRadio.com. For my partner, Pete Nielsen, I'm Brad Denton, our cameraman, Trent Landry, reminding you for a final time our final score from Dragon Field, the Carroll Dragons 10 and the LD Bell Blue Raiders 1. A special good night to our friends, our listeners out in Post, Texas, Mr. and Mrs. King. That's all for this time. Until next time, so long, everybody.